Hello, hello! Today I'm going to take 3 birds that can be found snacking at a North American bird feeder and transform them into magical girls. For those unfamiliar, magical girl is a genre of media that focuses on, well, magical girls. Some shows you might have heard of that fit into the genre are Sailor Moon, Tokyo Mew Mew, and Cardcaptor Sakura. They wear fancy outfits, battle the forces of evil, and on occasion fall in love. It's a genre that's near and dear to my heart. Now, let me introduce to you the birds I'll be using as my inspiration today. Bird number 1 is the Cardinal, bird number 2 is the Blue Jay, and bird number 3 is the American Goldfinch. My goal with this challenge is to create 3 distinct girls using elements of the bird's appearance, while also keeping them a cohesive team. Let's get to sketching! For my sketching process, I kept my drawings very rough and loose. If I worked with too much detail, I would have gotten caught up in trying to add in lots of little things and waste a lot of time. What was important was creating variations on the characters and exploring. First up was Cardinal, who I also dubbed the leader of the team. I really wanted to capture that classic magical girl protagonist spirit in her, that normal girl with a kind heart and lots of energy. I played around with different fluffy skirts, cute bows, and different hairstyles. I created 6 variations on her design, and then took the strongest elements from them and created the final design. Let's move on to the final drawing. I found myself needing to do a lot of sketching and tweaking. Her sharp, swooping bangs mimic the little point at the top of a cardinal's head, and also give her a look like she's always running around, so her hair's always a bit messy. Her big fluffy skirt gives her that classic magical girl silhouette, like the costumes in Cardcaptor Sakura or Precure. I ended up giving all of the girls the same silver and orange brooch on their bow, because I wanted something pointy to be reminiscent of a beak, without conflicting with the mostly round shapes that make up a majority of the designs. On the subject of cardinals, they really are some of the cutest birds out there. Did you know that they occasionally feed their mates? And it looks like an adorable little bird smooch? Too cute! I finish up her drawing with some shading and a subtle gradient to the red to give it a little bit more of a dynamic look. And just like that, our first girl is done! On to the next! Next up is Blue Jay. Being the largest bird in our trio, I thought making Blue Jay the tallest girl would be a perfect fit. I used lots of long shapes to emphasize her height. I also wanted to give Blue Jay a more mature feel than the other 2 girls, kind of like Zakuro and Tokyo Mew Mew. I was pretty sure I wanted to give her short hair, but I still tried out some different long styles too. Sometimes your first idea is a solid one, and other times it's not. With the 6 variations sketched, it's time to move on to the final design. It took me a few tries to get her arms just right, but I found her overall sketching process much easier than Cardinal, whether that be because I had warmed up with Cardinal, or that Blue Jay just doesn't have a complicated skirt like Cardinal does. Now it's time for line art. When I pieced together Blue Jay's design from my concept sketches, one word echoed loudly in my mind. Legs! By giving Blue Jay her super tall stiletto boots, they elongate her entire body and really capture that difference of size between the girls. They also help bring out the sassy nature of the Blue Jay from real life. Fun fact, Blue Jays act and sound like tiny dinosaurs. They love taking advantage of their larger stature to bully smaller birds and even squirrels sometimes. And with a few last touches here and there, Blue Jay's complete. Last but not least, it's time to draw Goldfinch. The Goldfinch was the smallest bird in the group, so I wanted to make her the shortest. I also wanted to use lots of round fuzzy shapes to represent the bird's adorable round body. Moving on to the final design, I had to play with her arms way more than Blue Jay's. I ended up having her upper arms closer to her body and her lower arms outstretched, to try to express that she can be a shy girl at first, but once she warms up to you, she's got a lot of energy. When I was sketching her original designs, I wanted something on her to represent the black and white stripes goldfinches have on their wings. Then I magically remembered those fingerless sweater sleeve glove thingies from the 2000s. And bam! They add a cool pattern to her design while also adding a sense of coziness. When I had finished up my line art, I noticed that Goldfinch's feet didn't look quite right, so I sketched out a better shape and redrew it. Glad I noticed before I started coloring, because that would have been way more of a hassle. The detail of Goldfinch's pom-pom earrings is very subtle, but I think it really helps capture her personality. I can definitely see her being the one to settle arguments between Cardinal and Blue Jay with some freshly baked cookies. And with Goldfinch done, it's time to assemble the team! And here's our finished team! They look so adorable! They look like a cohesive team thanks to their shared elements and secondary colors. And they still have their own distinct personalities because of the different textures, shapes, and main colors. The birds I chose conveniently created a perfect primary color palette, so that probably helps too. It's tough for me to pick a favorite because I love them all in their own way, but if I had to, I'd probably pick Cardinal. I'm a sucker for fictional redheads, and I just love how lively and optimistic she looks. Who's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe even leave a little heart emoji with the matching color. Thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye bye!